crazy out here. We've got fake news. There's a whole lot of fear. Nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. We need a little help now. Maybe this will do. Buy someone a coffee, give someone a dime, show a smile to a stranger, give someone your time. Let's open our eyes now, maybe listen to. We can make a difference. Oh, me and you, me and you. Oh, oh. It's kind of crazy out here. We've got fake news. There's a whole lot of fear. Nowhere to turn, nowhere to go. I need a little help now. Maybe this will do. Buy someone a coffee, give someone a dime, show a smile to a stranger, give someone your time. Let's open our eyes now, maybe listen to. We can make a difference. Oh, me and you, me and you, me and you. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, me and you, yeah, me and you. Buy someone a coffee, give someone a dime, show a smile to a stranger, give someone your time. Let's open our eyes now, maybe listen to. Let's make a difference. Oh, me and you, me and you. Kind of crazy out here. We've got fake news, whole lot of fear.
That
Does this look centered?
was awesome. So awesome. Very good. I don't know if you know, Tom, but at the end of that, and come on in, Tom, I see you there. Oh, you can see my henna design. At the end of that, so that was myself and my daughter, Nicole, excuse me, driving through all the mountains, I believe, to get to out west, although it might have been on the way back. I can't say exactly for sure. But at the end there, what we see is I'm at the Terry Fox. Tom, your camera's not on. I'm not sure if you're having an issue or what's going on there. Not entirely sure. But welcome, everybody. I'm Michelle. I'm pleased to be with you here today. And Tom, he's having some technical issues. So I'm not sure if he is going to figure that out and join us or not. But that song was written by Tom. Oh, my goodness. Probably over 10 years ago, I would imagine. So it's a fabulous song. And when I used to have my online radio show, I still have one, Positive Power Audio Stream. And that in particular was closed down, but I needed a way. Oh, that's so funny. Tom, somehow you're on here twice. I needed a way to be able to put his song on the radio, and it was the way it was formatted or something. So I ended up tying it in with that video, and it was awesome. I don't know how. Okay, there you go. Very good. You were on here twice. Are you cloning yourself and we need to know?
Hashtag twice as nice.
Oh, none of my jokes are appropriate. That's hilarious. Oh,
You want to hear? This is how old I am. So everybody who's joining us, I usually use my work laptop. issues on Friday, and my personal laptop, and I've reinstalled Zoom, all the stuff, it freezes every time. So, Michelle, I'm trying to put my video on my phone. I'm on my phone now.
Yep.
This is what I'm trying to put the video onto my phone, like, because it was off.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
using the mouse for my laptop. I'm going, why isn't this working?
Oh my gosh, I get that so much. Oh my word. We're so inundated with technology, right? It's
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, exactly. How are you doing?
I am doing good. It was when you mentioned about the song, Elaine was asking about that, and it was funny. I don't remember. I can find out. I remember when I wrote that song, but I think the video you took, it looks like it's coming here, but it's a video, so it could be reversed, right?
I feel like I was though. I feel like I was.
Well, you
And
know what? No, actually, you're right. You were coming here
I'll,
because I think I sent you the video when you got here. Said, "Oh, I wrote this song," because I had that other video on YouTube too. This song, but I did a little live thing out in front of like pretending I was busking, right?
yeah, I've got that one too. But I
Yeah.
think this one, when I put it together, you had sent me the professional audio
Yeah.
versus the one that was at not saying the one at the coffee shop wasn't professional, but didn't you have like a quiet pause in there or something?
So what had happened? So if
There's,
anybody's watching this, and let me mute my laptop and I'll go on to YouTube on here. Yeah. So the here's a funny thing, right? So a little bit creative, Tom. Elaine's talking about got some talent, got a little bit of talent. So does Michelle. And so not that we're competing. But anyways, so I had this idea that it was about busking because the song was really about it was about fake news. And then because I'm in the coffee industry, I didn't plan the word coffee, but I was thinking these little simple things of kindness we can do, right? Give
right.
somebody a dime. The give me a dime was from an old, I think it was the old 1940s war. Hey, brother, can you spare a dime? The type of thing, motif or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you watch, so the video in front of the store, we're busking. That's when my buddy's playing saxophone, which is like
Very
awesome.
cool.
But
Yep.
my friend's filming on a little recorder, and the wind, it's not as horrible sound thing, except for the thing.
Right.
But if you haven't watched it, I know you have, but if Elaine, you haven't watched it, I'll send you the link. So one of Tom's creative things. So what I did is my buddy's going around, and I saw this somewhere. I didn't make this up. All of a sudden, we froze for like 5 seconds,
Right.
and we're all still. And so it was, kind of a trick or whatever. And then we go back to the song. So I've seen people do that, like it's statue something. It's from like 20 years ago, right?
Freeze frame.
But freeze frame, yeah, there you go. JJ Giles.
Yeah. See?
I win. But it's the recording was horrible. But with this one here, like I said to you, so I love the song. I don't know whoever wrote the song. It's a pretty good song. Fits our thing. I love your trip. The only thing, and it's my ADD, is when the wheels go around. Yep. I'm going. So I told Michelle before, no rush, takes time and work and learning stuff, but I'd love to edit it because there's some other things that you've done, like even pictures of the love and like, anyways, we'll figure it out. It's a project that we hope to come.
It's perfect.
You like it the way it is?
I love it the way it is because it shows that it's homemade, right? Just like the trip. And you know what? If it was slower, not sped up, because it looks like I'm a driving maniac, and maybe I am, maybe I'm not. None of your business, really. But there's a spot in there where Nicole's recording and she catches my face, or I'm recording and I catch her, something like that. But it was because when we were on our way back, we were all recorded out. That's why I'm pretty sure it was that excitement of being on our way, right? We were doing a lot of recording.
And I wouldn't get rid of like half of that stuff. Like the only thing I'm thinking of, here's a funny thing, okay? The recording of Ethan telling you the joke.
Oh, now, because those have not aged well. Like I've got them, but it's so interesting how technology changes. They're super grainy, but I have a bunch of them all saved from that trip. I interviewed people Yeah, it was such a good time. You know,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go back for a visit, like a drive back, because just something about those mountains and the water and everything,
Well,
right? Such an experience.
and here's one of the things that I hope to do. Like when I say sooner than later, I don't mean next week. Um, but what I thought would be great is I don't know how much it costs. I figure out, I like to rent like not a huge, but like not like Jimmy's travel van.
Oh, yeah,
And,
that's
and,
nice.
and it'd be nice to go across with, because I went across by myself, but I'd like, be nice to go across with family,
Yeah, for
you stretch
sure.
your legs, do whatever. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping when I retire, I can do that. So maybe,
great idea. You
go
never
up there,
know.
bring you
Right.
back, and then fly you home.
Hey, there you go. That's a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. I can be your partner in crime on the road.
it'd be
Right.
fun.
Oh, it'd
We
be
can
a
do
great
some,
time.
we can do some interviews,
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
mental wellness for life on the road.
That's right. I love that. Very good. Yeah, you know, we have it's so important. We're doing this planning, not just you and me, but for everybody, because you know, it gives us something to look forward to.
Right.
There's so many so many advantages and so many different ways it improves our mindset. Just changing environment, right? Like
Yeah.
there's so many people that never leave their community for whatever, maybe they have nowhere that interests them, maybe they're fearful. I know a guy who would never get on an airplane, and that's very like I get it, I totally get it, but at the same time, he's somebody I would like to bring out west with us. That wouldn't happen because he's limiting himself, you know what I mean? So it's when you are
Now,
inspired.
who's that you said?
I didn't say.
Okay,
I did
good.
not.
That means I'm not crazy. Perfect.
No, you're not. Well, we're not going to, do a survey. Let's just say that, whether you're crazy or
So,
not.
so here's the thing. So, if this is this onto my idea of a travel van? So you're inviting somebody into the travel van? I'm teasing you.
No, no, I am not. No, no,
Hey, everybody
absolutely.
jump in.
I
Everybody
was
jump
gonna
in.
say, yeah, no, that would include a whole family, and I think somebody wouldn't make it out. Somebody would be left in the mountains, and it wouldn't be me or you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you got lots of places to leave. Well, no, I was going to say something as a joke. Bodies, lots of places to leave bodies across Canada. But I'm joking,
Exactly.
people.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
joking.
That's right. If you're super serious or easily offended, thanks for coming. We'll see you another time.
Yeah, Howie Mandel's got a no.
That's
And I,
he's got a lot of things going on, doesn't he?
yeah,
I saw he's one of I what was I was watching starting to watch something, and I noticed that he has a YouTube page where he just interviews people. Do you watch that? It's like
oh,
uh extraordinary things with Howie or something. I'll find it, I'll send it to you.
I
You'll like
think
it.
I have.
You might have seen it.
I'm trying to. The problem is, I see so many things, and then I'm like, squirrel, and then I'm doing something for work and doing whatever, right, or for not work, right? I,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I know he does. He just does so much. He's like I said, he's one of the guys. At some point down the road, I would love to, get on and
Fighting him on.
yeah. Well, it would just be nice. There's people that are in interest and talk about some things that you and me talk about, right? And it would be just nice to have them, kind of come hang out and
There's not a human on the planet that isn't involved and is doesn't have interest in mental wellness, right? I mean, it's such a blanket thing. If your eyes open every morning, you probably got
yeah,
stuff, right? I mean, we talked about that last week about how we're learning lessons all the time. Well, we're surrounded, and it ties in with our topic actually. We're surrounded by so much impactful stuff, whether it's joyful, stressful, whatever. Those algorithms. That's
yeah.
why, you can have two people that are so like you and I, just for an
I just,
example.
I just stopped the video for a second, so
Sure.
I'm here. No, I'm here.
Okay, no problem. And I see Alana's here. Hi, Alana, and anybody else who's joining us. If you're watching it live, please say hello. If you're catching it on a replay, that's absolutely fine too. No problem at all. We're just happy you're with us. We do monitor these after the fact. Excuse me. So if you're watching them after the fact, then just put your comments in there. It flags Tom or I, and then we'll go ahead and we'll respond because we love being interactive, not just with each other, excuse me, but also with you.
Yeah.
You know, things are so chaotic right now on social media. It's so funny because I was thinking before we talked about picking this topic, my mindset was, I wish the election was over because I'm so sick of reading stuff and seeing stuff. And honestly, in my opinion, not reflective on Tom or anybody else in the world, I think most people have picked their what they're doing. I see people saying they're already voting and everything. So I'm going through and I'm doing a little bit of social media maintenance. Tom, do you ever do social media maintenance or do you think of that at all as a thing?
Yep.
Your face said no and your voice
Yep.
said yes. So what does
Yeah.
that entail for what
Um,
does that entail for you?
I'm as I'm getting older, I'm a bit of a purger. So
Yeah.
what happens is if there's things, and I follow like on Instagram. I don't. Can people see what you follow on Instagram? Probably, right?
Probably.
I follow, not that I check on people, but I follow like just the bizarrest, like painters and
Yeah.
this and this, like it's all over the map. I'm sure some people would go, they would, have judged me, right? But I'll go on and what I'll do is I'll clean out just junk. And like you said, part of it is like right now I've actually given up, not given up in the wrong way, with politics, even though I'll vote. I heard something today and I thought it was so good and I thought you would love it. And this person said, don't be controlled and be overwhelmed by elections. And this person said, don't let the parties or the leaders affect you because the greatest effect you have is in your circles. Those
Oh, yeah.
those politicians, and they do have an effect on Canada and this and that and all that. We know that. But you want to centralize where you have control, where you go, it does have an effect, prices, tariffs, blah, 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 energy, whatever, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I'm not going to allow that stuff to suck out me being kind to others, myself, you know what I mean? All that stuff, right?
Exactly. Exactly. That's right. That's right. And we can, when we go back into, excuse me, overthinking, all that sort of stuff, that's such a big part of it as well. When we're seeing these little nuggets of information, if you will, and they're looking for the shock factor or whatever. Like, so and I know we've talked about this before, when we talk about the news or any sort of influencers, The View, the television show, like the instilling of hate that they do, the division. It's amazing, and I think these times are coming to an end. Just my humble opinion, but I think it's just so amazing to me that they are allowed to do that. I see people are starting to, because it's defamation. It's so hurtful to people. And I watched a little clip the other day, and it was this lady who just found out that things that she believed in were not presented properly. Therefore, they're not true in total. And so now she's very upset, and she's like, I listened to such and such a station or whatever. Alan, I'll get to that in 1 second. Thank you. Um, so she was like, I don't know how this came to be, but who's going to look after my trauma? Who's going to, when we talked about, being so angry at somebody, well, to wish death on another human being. That's a big gobsmacking moment for me of like, how can you be so influenced that you've totally turned off your what's the word I'm looking for? Your sense,
Filter?
yeah, and just your filter, but even to think like to forget that everybody is somebody's child, parent, sibling. You know what I
But
mean? What
people,
that effect is.
but people don't. Okay, stuff like this, like it gets me frustrated, and then I take a breath. Right?
Take a breath.
Seriously, Michelle, there's people who don't care. We live,
Oh,
we live,
absolutely.
we live in a society that it's about me. If it doesn't affect me in a positive way, then it's wrong. And you've like, what's the big thing happening now? Swatting, right? Stuff like that, right? So you have this, you have this, or even the Tesla thing. So leave politics out of it, right? If you think of people like riots that people go and for whatever reason they're angry, they're poor, they don't have, I don't know, whatever it is, injustice, and they will burn down houses and stores and vehicles, right? Entitlement. But you said something earlier. We've created in our North America and this democratic kind of idea, and we all have a chance to be successful. We've in my opinion, we created a bit of a, it's not even a subculture anymore, but we can, for freedom of speech, we can say, we hope you die, we hope somebody kills you. Get away with it.
Yeah, but that's not the same as freedom of speech. That's what I'm
But
saying.
people think that though, right?
Sure, and we get what we tolerate, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I know a lot of people that are a lot different since 2020 that they would never have been like this. And the big problem, going back to the original thing, is your algorithm. Is when you look at somebody and you're like, how are we living in the same world, but we have two completely different views on something? It's the algorithm. So when I
Right.
talk about social media maintenance, are you going through and are you like just groups and pages, for example? Who are you following? Who are you interacting with? Right. So I came across some good articles and I sort of surmised them into a little list of things to look at. So the one that I saw, which is really true, like whenever you're on any social media and you like, follow, or subscribe, you're going to get more of the same into your news feed. And I know people can't raise their hand, but I feel like raise your hand if you've talked about something and then seen it on your news feed, right? It's all connected, or like something. So you like, oh my gosh, I posted a picture the other day. And it was, so I've got myself in the habit of it's, unless I have no option, I don't share from other pages. I save it and then I repost it. But,
Right, right.
right, okay, because sometimes I found what was happening is I would share like a really positive quote or meme or whatever. I would go ahead and I would share it. And then I'd go back, and this would be a couple weeks later. I'd be scrolling down my page looking for something, and all of a sudden, I've got a thing of a blanket for sale with a Volkswagen bug on it, a Volkswagen van from like the 60s or 70s. And I would never promote something like that. Not that it wasn't lovely, because it was, because that's not my jam. That's not what I do. So I
Right.
was like, what the heck? And then I realized it's trickery. They're putting up a post that everybody's going to love and share, and then they're switching it out. So everywhere where it's shared, it's quite tricky, really. Everywhere that it's shared, it's now flipped out. So all these people were sharing, a quote of Tom Paul, and then all of a sudden you get shafted. Now everybody's selling a blanket, right? So that's part of the trickery. So, but the other day or whenever it was, I shared a macrame. This is so funny. And I liked the page, I liked the picture. Then I took the picture, I saved it, I attached it. Oh my gosh, my ads on my page are macrame all day long now. I'm like, I liked one thing. I didn't say I want to learn macrame, right? So as much as, and I found this to be sort of conflicting because I'm a big supporter of Canada. I'm a big supporter of shopping local. Just keep in mind, you should follow and you should comment. I'm getting there, Lan.
That was me.
I know. So, when we like, follow, and comment, it's triggering the algorithm that that's what you like. You want more of the same. So if what you like is something, that's okay, Alan. We'll talk again soon. I hope everything's okay.
We'll still answer it.
We will. Yeah, absolutely. So that really helps. So if it's something that, well, I'll get to that in a second. So whoever you're liking and following, your social media maintenance, like Tom, for you, do you ever go back through all your list of groups and pages and delete, like unfollow or unlike ones that don't really resonate with you anymore?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's like I said. So this maintenance idea for me, and like you said, so here's the thing, I'm in sales, right? Like I always say, this and I use a pen now. Notice that pen. I don't say certain things. I'm
I thought you used a crayon. What's happening?
I'm out of crayons. But what happens is there, you have the old way of like pitching, getting information, and with technology now, even the way criminals or hackers are stealing personal information, like the way that they can do it. Quick story, and if Mom comes on here, she can deal with me. A long time ago. So Mom doesn't know anything except she'll see this thing. Oh, my daughter's special, my boy's special, and she'll share it, right? She'll share it. She won't like down. So she did one to me, and I got it, and I go, okay, the thing was nice, but I'm going, and I didn't tell her online. I went when I saw her, I said, Mom, do you know what you sent me was like from adult grannies who like it was real kind of offensive, but it was this
Like the group
meme.
ones?
So on like you have could be a not say a video much, but say it could be like a picture that says something, or like you and me share like good stuff, right? And depending who it's from, so Mom would just share it, not thinking about who it's from. She's going, oh, that's kind of cute, I'll share it, right? And so the challenge now with all of that stuff, I'm not paranoid. I don't think you are either. But like you said, I'm aware of I need to do a daily purge. There was another person, she won't listen to this. There's an artist I follow, and she was on Instagram, and I just loved her journey. Just interesting dog lover. And then she was into MMA and stuff like that. And then she became a Muslim, which was fine, totally fine. But then she started sharing like all the time these reels from these Muslim men, doing whatever. So all of a sudden I felt like, and it's okay. She's got thousands of followers, right? Sure. She's an artist. But I thought, man, like all of a sudden I feel just because of her journey, I didn't need to follow her journey. I checked, right. I actually the other day, right?
It's nothing personal.
Yeah. But there's just people like that. Like you and me talk about YouTube. There's certain YouTubes that you watch a couple and this guy's great and this guy's great. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'll move on, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is where we have more control than we think. And a lot of people don't realize you have the power to go up, on Facebook. You can go in the top right-hand corner. You click on the three little dots. It gives you an option to hide, to unfollow, to snooze the person. Block. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because in one of the articles I was looking at, they were talking about stopping hate following.
Right.
And I thought that was really interesting because it's just like when the fire truck goes by or we're eyeballing an accident on the highway. We're terrified of what we're going to see, but we're so interested, right? And with the combative nature that's going on, maybe we're following a group just to see what they're doing, or maybe we're following them. Oh my gosh, to see what's going on. Maybe it's to gossip. Maybe it's just to react, just to hit thumb down. I mean, I'm not that way, right? But there's people that are. And then next thing you know, all your stuff is full of that. And that's why, when people are convinced of something that they believe to be true that they don't know the whole story of, they're never going to get that other half of the story because they're not opened up to see the other side, right? I think we agree, and I think anybody else who's with us or watching us in the future agrees, extreme anything is not good. So it's not about any particular side, but it's important, like, that you interact with things or people that you're passionate about, that you align with, right? So that sort of thing, and realize that you always have the power to unfollow, to unsubscribe. I've gone in the last couple weeks and I've unfollowed. I lost my profile. Then I started the new profile, and I'm like 3 months in, I'm already unfollowing some people. But it's just, I tell you, I'm around drama, I could break out in a rash. Just drives me absolutely nuts. So it's like high drama or high hate or with wishing death on people. I really have an issue with that. And everybody I'm talking about, I knew them. They're not somebody that's always carried hate. I find it boggling. So, interact with things and people you're passionate about. Go in, like, I bet I only go in every 3 or 4 months, and I go through my groups and I go through my pages, and I just, like, maybe I was just, sometimes I like things, or on YouTube I'll subscribe because I just want to check it out later. I don't really even know. So going back in and then taking the time to look at it and then realize, does that align with me? Or the moment that, like you were saying, I'll follow a YouTuber and then I might hear something 3 or 4, like, I'm not watching these in a row, but I check out this person, say, for the 4th time, and they say something that doesn't really resonate with me, and I'll be like, okay, but I like the rest of the stuff. But where's your line where you're like, yeah, there's that just negates from all the good stuff, right?
Well, look at this, right? So right now in North America, could be other parts of the world, but North America for sure, is everything that's not in your view is demonized. Liberals are demonized, conservatives are demonized, Green Party. So it's become this way of life. You're either pro-Israel or pro-Palestine. You can't be both, even though there's Israelis living, like, there's people that have families that have learned to, even though we have a different, maybe religious, whatever, but we can live together. We can agree to disagree and love each other, right? So, but here's what I wrote down, a couple notes here. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that. Oh, I said it again. I didn't mean to say that. I got the pen. Sorry. Did you get my joke here? No.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Carry on.
I only said it once. It's pretty funny. I did it on purpose for you. I want to give this to my sister. It's a gift. So here's the funny thing, right? So we're talking about algorithms, right? So look at our friends. So we look at our friend list, right? So I don't have a friend that's a guitar player, and then all of a sudden I get a bunch of guitar players come up per se. I know
Friends
some that say
different. It doesn't work like that.
Well, that's what I mean, right? So, but here's where I see I'm going towards aggression and demonizing, right? So here's all of a sudden you're getting, this is the two arenas I see. We've got, I don't know about you, maybe it's just me, friends who are wonderful people, nice people, grandmas, grandpas, whatever, right? Workers, whatever. And all of a sudden over this political.
That's what I just said.
I know, but they're not, it's not an algorithm. All of a sudden, and they're the ones posting like from this party or this or all that, right? But all of a sudden, forgetting even what they're posting, but like you said, they're following down that rabbit hole. But all of a sudden, we talked a little while ago about like their anxiety, like this political anxiety is just like hyped, right? Then the other one is I find so interesting. Hollywood, you mentioned the View, right? All of a sudden, Hollywood, this was pre-election in the States, and this is like now, oh, I'm going to move out of the US until things change. Oh,
Don't come here. We don't want you.
and they think, and I was thinking of, I'm picking on, unfortunately, Taylor Swift. She doesn't follow us.
I
And
know.
well, maybe one day by then, but but I felt bad for her in a way, because here she is, probably coerced to some degree to support a certain party.
100%.
And then the agitation communicated to her, like I was watching the football game and she was there with her football boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's just like I want to get angry at somebody. So I a long time ago, was in Penticton, all my work. There was do you know an artist called MC Hammer?
Yeah.
Hammer Time?
I just watched a documentary on him.
Okay. So he was playing in Penticton. And so the Penticton, you've been there. So, you know, now, so the concert was out of the city on the reserve, right? So they were manning it and doing all that, right? So this is in the summer. Penticton, where this was, Michelle's been in the Okanagan. It is in the summer. It is over full by 100% by tourists.
Oh, yeah.
And they have this concert that was another 5,000 people, right? So all of a sudden, the concert over. It's a Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night, and we lived in this part above downtown on this hill, right? But all of a sudden, these riots start happening. So the people are getting out of the bars. The other people coming down. Now they have to drive down there, but they couldn't walk. It'd take them a couple hours, right? But all of a sudden, you've got, if they had alcohol, but you got somebody who's just angry at the world or whatever, entitlement, whatever, and they start, you know, breaking windows. And you know how downtown is, like, it's narrow, right? Like, it's 2 lanes. And all of a sudden, there's thousands of people there, and now the cops are coming. It's just like, it's a few instigators, then the rest pull up. So what happened was, friends of mine had their teenage kids were there. These are they go to church people, right? They're there. It was summer night. Their 2 girls were downtown. Now they were hemmed in this, terrified. They weren't agitators. They weren't angry. They got caught up watching peripheral, right? So that makes me think of people who all of a sudden, oh, I don't like so and so. Well, what do you know? Well, I don't know. I read something, and you go, well, how do you know it's true? Well, because somebody posted it.
Oh, exactly. Exactly right. Memes aren't facts, right?
Right, Ethan?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so I think, you know, to have a clear head, and of course, I encourage everybody to do your own research, but I think, you know, we don't have a hope if we're always only getting one field of information all the time. So I think, have you seen the different apps that are coming out to help you gauge your, I don't know if I mentioned this to you before. I know I didn't mention it on here, but for example, or maybe I did, that ground news, right? Didn't I
Back to the light.
yeah, didn't I mention that to you? Where it shows the source, and then it shows which way it leans. There's 3 or 4 of them now, though, and
You may have, and I don't remember.
I think so, and that's okay.
You have to tell me again, though. I'm interested, though.
Yeah. So, like, again, right now.
No. Do you know what she's talking about, Ethan? Oh, my son left. He was making a snap.
Yeah. So, it's interesting that they're realizing. Do you know what I mean? That everything is all one way. And like, when you think about, just so many things that have been so divisive, and I think by design, in my humble opinion. But I think we have more power than we think. So if you want your social media not to be draining, but for it to be enlightening, maybe. So for example, my YouTube page is very not fun right now. It's not fun, and it's not by design, but by design through YouTube. So when I look at it, and because I watch a lot of murder thriller things, I watch, but then of course I watch some things about the news, some different things. And I looked at it the other day and I was like, wow, it's not fun for me to go into it right now. And one of the things, actually, a few of the things I really like is I like Canada. I like fine homes. I'm big into the law of attraction and visualizing. So I love watching real estate tours. That it's especially if I'm because I have to do like this lung regimen thing for 2 hours a day. So I can't really speak or talk while I'm doing it. So I'd like to put on these house tours and then I just imagine how awesome it would be. And I'm mentally going through, oh, that looks nice. Oh, I don't drink. I don't need a wine cabinet, blah, blah, blah. Right? Going through this thing. So I went on to my YouTube and I put in Canada real estate islands and then something else. And it totally changed my YouTube algorithm. So then I went in and I looked at a couple islands, of course, in British Columbia. Oh, actually, one was by Manitoulin. So I was looking at islands for sale. So I watched the videos. I like the videos. I think they were ones most of them I was already subscribed to, but because I hadn't been actively watching them, they weren't populating in my news feed. Then I got a bunch on Canada. So I was watching most beautiful places to live in Canada. So I was watching and I'm liking them, right? It's important that you do the action. I was liking them. And then some nature things were coming up, hiking and stuff like that. So it was so interesting. And I'm a total geek. I love this documentaries and stuff. The one I watched was actually all on the Rocky Mountains, which was pretty cool as well. Well, now the next day, just from sitting there, so I would have done it for an hour while I was blowing in my lung thing. So while that's all happening, I completely made a huge difference to my algorithm. Now, when I go back on, just like the next day, I'm getting more of my real estate stuff, I'm getting more of my nature stuff, and more of my Canada stuff. So that one action made a huge difference. And then the other thing as well to mention is that the ads that come up on your social media or like on any of them, you can hide them. And so I made a decision a long time ago. I'm not going to support Temu. I'm not going to support a lot of those companies that sell really cheap stuff because I'm trying to support Canada. And honestly, I shop enough on Amazon. I don't need to be getting into a bunch of other things. And I'm trying to be a minimalist. So those ones I would go through. And if you, again, top right hand corner, hit the three little dots in the drop down box, I can hit hide. I can also hit and this happened, I forget what the item was that I bought, but I searched it. Then all of a sudden I was inundated with options. And then once I bought the product, I cannot think of what it was now at all. But once I bought it, then I went into the ads. And when you hit the three dots in the drop down box, it gives
Right.
you an option. I already bought this. So
Yeah.
you can hit that as well. And then that's going to change it up a bit as well. So again, like it's a time consuming activity, but if you do it like every couple months or just as you see things, just start hitting those buttons and making it more the way that you want it. And you don't want to leave your social media and feel anxious or stressed.
So here's the thing. So first of all, you'll laugh. I delete every day about, I don't know. I know how to unsubscribe from emails. It's easier to click them off or whatever, right? So I'm going to show you.
I do that too. Yeah.
Well, I want to show you, let me reverse my camera. So I'm going to show you my, where's my reverse camera? Why can't I see it? Oh, there it is. No. Anyways, So I'm going to do it this way. So I've got my YouTube page. It's my personal one. I have nothing on it, Michelle, but I have like some songs or music I've worked on, and then some things out. So it's very minimal. So here it is there. Can you see it?
But those are your videos?
Well, I don't have them now. So this
Okay.
here is my settings for my channel, right?
Yep.
So how do you talked about putting in words like real estate and all that. So I'm actually just pretending I'm
Just
somebody who doesn't know.
search it at the top in the search bar.
Okay. So if I go to the top, so I can't set up like, sometimes you sign up something and it says, what do you like? You like books, you like travel. So I can't have keywords just on a personal account, right?
No, because you're telling them what you like every time you search,
Right.
right?
So
Like
even
this
if
is how they work. Yeah.
So even if somebody searches something, they want nobody to know what they like.
That's how they catch all the murderers, right? Oh my gosh. It's
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I can get rid of a body. I watch a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, and you're right. So in a part of this conversation, Michelle wanted to talk about this, and I thought it was great. It was something that she said this would be important, and I wasn't as sorry. And like for me, I knew some stuff, but it was learning. So if we always have the attitude to learn a little bit, and part of what it is, here's the other thing, talking about like earlier about, you said about hate, and I mentioned about the angst and anger, right?
Yeah.
So even politically, put all that aside, this bombardment, you looked at a brown purse once, well, all of a sudden 17 million companies are trying to sell you a brown purse, right?
Yeah.
And the good and bad of that, like sometimes you go, oh, I don't mind that, but after a while you go, okay, like you said, I don't need any more, right?
Yeah.
With the company I work for, coffee, right? So, and on the opposite end, we want, when people search up coffee roasters in my area, we want to be on the first page,
Yeah.
or want to be, and we should be on the first page because we're big enough. But this is the opposite, because now they're almost like this YouTube page for us. Like we're wanting to bring people to it, right?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, we had never, through people working for social media, we've never communicated well to get people to like to be in their top search, right? So like you said, if you search for real estate and you put in real estate cottage country, whatever, right? Then all of a sudden it narrows it down, and there could be you and a million other people looking for that.
Yeah.
And so on that side, if it's real estate or whatever, they're going, oh, okay, like now you'll get, I still get people trying to sell me homes in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so part of it is we're inundated because I think we're inundated with information too.
Yeah.
One of these times we'll talk about meditation again, because I think it's one of our top ones from last year. And part of it is in this overwhelming world of information. That's what we're talking about. You ask one little question and you get like 57,000 response, right?
Exactly.
And so part of it, how do you meaning us, how do we kind of control, like you said, we have control. That part of it is doing the social media, like there's different tasks, but part of it is, can you put your phone away? Can you do this? Can you sit?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I do think we talked about that before last year. And so part of it is, so if you want to control it, like I should, so owning it for me, I'm being lazy. I'm owning it. I could probably need a couple of hours, because and in my history, Michelle, I've got Yahoo Mail. Like I purge like emails up to whatever. Actually, I've got, so in my trash folder, I delete those, right? I bet you maybe 5,000 emails.
Oh, me too, at least.
From the 80s. On my phone, I have 4,700 pictures.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I share them and do different things, but then I don't. So part of going back to what you're talking about, controlling your environment, kind of what it is.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah. And so for me, part of it is going, okay, I need to, it just takes time. And sometimes we're tired, right? I'm walking here with you because we got a few minutes left, but I want to show you something that's going to help me with my pictures. So my mother, our mother, haha, bought me this. So this here, can you see it?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it's one of those moving picture frames, right?
Yeah.
Look at that little kid. That's my daughter 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing. I heard this the other day and I thought, oh, that's me. And what it is we have a redundant amount of pictures that we put. I've got like 500 pictures on there that are probably still on my phone that I probably don't need on my phone. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the same thing going to what we follow. And
Do you
like I
print
said,
any of them though? Do you print any of them off?
I don't print anymore. It's one of those things like Teresa.
What if all of a sudden you don't have them, your phone dies and you don't have your pictures? Or do you save them to your card? You put them all on flash drives?
I put some on flash drives if they go on my computer. And I'm just looking at it now. So I do have the old school photo albums, right?
Yeah.
But Teresa took so many pictures where
I got to do a movie of my collage for you next week.
We had about 30 or 40. But see, so for me, that picture frame is gold.
Yeah.
And I didn't want one. I was going, because she likes something, everybody's got to have it. Do you like those wind chimes? Oh, I got these wind chimes. All the girls have to have a wind chime, right?
I love my wind chimes.
Yeah, I told her don't give me one, but I knew you would like it, right?
Yeah.
But so the thing for me, and I do print some, but I've got you've been to my place. I got some canvas pictures done. I got a beautiful one I got to show you as I'm going. And then you can visit. But anyways, pictures. Do you print them like all the time?
No, but I will. So I'll save some that really stand out to me. But whenever I'm getting something printed, I usually will send some. Who is that? Yeah.
That's Izzy and Charlotte. That's at Emily's wedding.
Okay. They look like they had somebody's wedding.
Well, Emily, when she married the guy she's not with anymore.
Oh, okay.
But there was a thing but going back to these things that inundate you, there was a canvas printing thing that I got a great deal on them. So I bought, for Christmas, I bought like 5 of them, like the big ones, like my favorite pictures, right?
Yeah. Nice.
And Teresa and I don't know if you do any of these things. We'll do picture books.
Okay. What do you write in it? That's cool.
And I do these, I don't remember who we do them. They're pretty cheap. They're like $40. So
yeah.
So I'll do those with really special pictures.
Yeah.
But the picture frame has, I don't know why I have all this all around me, but the picture frame is kind of been a really good thing because I know now I could delete a whole bunch off there, and that's wireless, right? But yeah, I don't print. So tell us before we go, tell us about printing. So why do you print? And if you print, how do you use it?
So I also have a lot of albums from over the years. And years ago, way before COVID, I had an aha moment that I have all these pictures that I'm not seeing unless I manually go pull them out. I wow myself, they go back away, right? So years ago, I made a collage you're in all my collages, just so you know, for the record. Yes. And I don't know about the grandchildren because I think it was before them, like your grandchildren, maybe.
Right.
But anyways, so years ago, I made a collage. I bet it was probably 20 years ago. And it was after we met at Sun Peaks in BC, but it was when my kids were little, my parents took my kids before Nicole, or did anyways, the last Saturday night of every month, which meant the last Saturday night of every month, Michelle had a party. So, and all my buddies would come, and we had a bar in the basement. We had great times, and we took lots of pictures. So I started printing them. Same thing. I'm just keeping them in envelopes around, or putting them in books or whatever. And so what I did is I cut all these out, and I made a great big collage, and I love it. It's in our pool table room. And then a few years later, I just and like I don't have a portrait picture, but I do different things like I'll send things to get printed to Staples, or you can go to Walmart. It's pretty cheap, and
Yep.
you can transfer them right off. So then I printed a whole bunch of like friends and family and from old work parties that like people were leaving or whatever. So I'm like, what am I doing with all these pictures? So in the kitchen corner of my kitchen, I have all these pictures. You're in there. I think you're in your car in that one. I don't know. But anyways, there's all the and they make me feel so good. And it sounds weird. I don't care. It makes me feel not alone. It's so funny. Like when I am standing in my kitchen and I'm waiting for my coffee, I can look in this corner and it's from the top of the freezer to the ceiling. I can see all of you, all of my siblings, all of my kids, all my friends, ex coworkers, quite a few people who have died. And it's just, and people like, you're so stupid with your social media. I've got a whole bunch of pictures of our family, pictures of like Roxanne's kids that I don't even think I'd maybe met them once, but I have pictures from like all sorts of different sources. And it seems so much more valuable than them being in a book or in my phone or whatever. But I'll tell you something. And I've been meaning to post something about this recently. Like when I lost my original Facebook, which should be back in June sometime, if the Facebook overlords are not lying to me. But I lost so many pictures. I lost videos from when we took the family to the Great Wolf Lodge. I lost those, Alice swimming for the first time, a whole bunch of different videos. I had pictures of my mom, like my adopted mom, who's dead now. And the anniversary of her death just went by. And I was like, wow, I lost because my mom was a twin and we were doing something special for them, I don't know, years ago. And my uncle, who's also deceased now, he had emailed me all these old pictures from like when they were toddlers in the 30s. Like these are things I would never, and they're all gone, all of them. And so, and hopefully, knock on wood, I get them back, but I'm certainly not getting my hopes up high.
Right.
So,
I'm saying,
just back this stuff up, whether it's a flash drive, everybody doesn't have to do, the things I do, but definitely don't because they own it, So don't let them have all your stuff. I know a girl and she's lovely and every day she shares all sorts of stuff with her grandchildren and her partner and whatever. And I saw her post recently and she said something about, no, I'm keeping it all on social media because I like it to come back to with my memories. Well, that's all fine and good. But if they're gone, then that's not going to help you. We were talking about steps to create new habits with Weight Watchers. And that was our topic this one week. And so I was telling them about this video I had of Xavier where
Yeah.
I'm teaching him how to brush his teeth. And he's super cute. He's arguing with me that he's a big boy. He was probably 2 and he could do it. And that was my aha moment of, oh, I don't have that video either. Like all of I'm just assuming they're gone. I have no faith in Zuckerberg at all. So so note to self, you don't have to print it and be a little cray cray like I am, but put it on something else. Don't let it even on YouTube because if any of these platforms go down, that stuff's gone. It's just zip, gone.
Here, 1 second.
Hi,
Would you
Teresa.
want to? No? No. You can share from there. We're talking about pictures. Michelle says she prints almost all of her pictures and then she makes wall collages. And I was telling her about us. We used to have how many albums and boxes of pictures? Like
Still do have.
Teresa still has them.
Not almost all of them, just key ones, not almost all of them.
We
That was
printed
lots of fun.
everything back then, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, we're over
But
time.
yeah.
Let's finish up. So the thing is, we digress, but in a good way. So we talked about important things and not being, not letting fake news or not letting, because you looked at a brown perch control your life, right? So you have control, as Michelle said, if you want to get rid of things that you maybe looked at once and did whatever. So I'm going to finish with this. Can I finish today?
Yeah, go for it.
So I'm always looking for something to watch because I'm multitasking at night. And so I saw Netflix. I like comedy stuff, as long as it's not stupid. And there's a thing called Kill Tony, something like that on Netflix, right?
Yep.
So I thought, oh, whatever, it'd be something background, right? Maybe hear a couple good jokes, right? I got like 15 minutes in, it was horrible. And it was like, this guy is big in Texas. He had Joe Rogan was there, and then they had a fake
It's a
Elon
real
Musk.
story, like a documentary.
It's a documentary from this. Well, it's this
Okay.
Kill Tony, right? So if somebody likes it, I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think Netflix will now. Well, I hope not. Well, they might, but I don't want to watch stuff like that. It was horrible. It wasn't even funny.
So do
So,
you hit the
anyway.
thumbs down so it won't? So
There you go.
yeah,
Well, I trust them
Yeah.
anyways.
yeah.
so-
but hit the thumbs down.
So next week, Michelle and I were talking. Next week's Easter. Easter Sunday.
Yes.
Enjoy your time with your family. We will be enjoying our time with our family. We'll be me and my wife are going to visit our daughter and granddaughters up north, 12-hour drive.
Okay.
But we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And if there's anything that you want us to talk about, just comment.
Yeah, awesome. Very good. I just want to deviate before we get off. I watched The Residents. Have you watched that? It's good. It's not a documentary, but it's like the old Clue game. So definitely something to watch. Also, have you watched The $1 Million Secret?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good.
So here's the challenge, Michelle. Me and you watch like kind of not really good stuff. They're not horrible, like
They're
Greasy. No,
Greasy.
we watch The Trader and all that. This
Yeah.
is stuff that I don't have to. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, okay. Well, you got to message me because I'll forget those. I'm old, right? So anyways, thank you, everybody.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good.
I hope you learned something there from that. Not
Yeah, I
anything
learned-
what Tom said. What
I learned some stuff, and I learned some stuff that you're not going to be in my will. No, I'm joking.
Oh no, I'm not going to get the pen.
No, you're going to get Mom's couch or something.
Oh, give
Everybody
that to
will-
Tina.
We'll see you
All
in
right.
2 weeks. I'll talk to you next week, Michelle.
All right. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
You still there?
I am.
Teresa's still here now. The shy one.
Teresa.